Good afternoon. This is Dominic with TheBackVlog. Recently, I finished Rashomon and Other Stories by Ryunosuke Akutagawa. I had actually already read two of these stories, In a Grove and Rashomon, the eponymous Rashomon, because Akira Kurosawa kind of took both of those stories and kind of blended them together for his film adaptation of Rashomon. Because you kind of have the trial that's going on. Like the main crux of the film is the trial that's going on, that's taking place through multiple points of view, which is how the In a Grove story is incorporated, where it's like you have this incident that happened, and it's basically just about the dissemination of information through differing points of view, how the events of an incident can get trickled down just like in a whisper down the alley kind of fashion, where a story will be morphed just based on, a person's biases and everything. I think that's really interesting. I think the way that Kurosawa depicts it in the film is kind of groundbreaking for the time period in which it came out. And he also utilizes the Rashomon story because Rashomon back in ancient Japanese, or in ancient Japan, I guess was I think it was a shrine or a temple or something in, I think maybe even earlier than the Heian period, which eventually burned down or got destroyed somehow and became a haven for bandits and thieves and criminals and everything. The gloominess in the story is so well portrayed in the Kurosawa film, and I don't know, it's really interesting. This is not about Kurosawa's Rashomon, even though that film is a masterpiece. One thing I will say about pretty much all of the stories in this is Akutagawa's character descriptions are really, really detailed and like grotesque in like a caricature kind of sense. They're ugly and they're exaggerated. And I don't know, the way he describes characters, like their facial features and the way that their clothing looks like and the condition that their clothing is in, you can picture it like so well. I don't know, it's really well done. And another thing that I was kind of surprised by is the tone of these stories. Like there's like a very cynical tone, in not in the same way that like Dazai's cynical tone is in, because Dazai, at least with Schoolgirl, and this is just like my assumption of his other stories, but the Dazai cynical tone is more of like a I hate the world kind of sense, whereas Akutagawa's cynical tone is more of the world is hell kind of sense. It's more hopeless. It's less woe is me and more just matter of fact, like everything is bad. A lot of the way that the stories end up turning out are just like, they're bad endings. The consequences are usually negative. And I just think that's really interesting. So yeah, that's the Rashomon stories. I don't think I have any other Akutagawa in my library. I would be interested in reading more of him, but I know he has, there's only like 6 stories in here. He's got a wide catalog of stories to go through. I don't know how many of which are even translated into English, but I guess time will tell. But yeah, have a wonderful day and take care of yourself.